I'm Robert Harris. This is Balanced Calendar. The 1800s saw a great deal of educational reform in the United States. At that time, the United States was a heavily agrarian society. Furthermore, children were a major component of the labor supply. The foundations for the traditional school calendar come from the economic reality of the 19th century, especially with respect to the agrarian needs of our citizens. This is no longer our reality. We are now a heavily mechanized and technology dependent society. Our school calendar no longer matches our economic, social, technological reality. Furthermore, the United States is falling behind other nations with respect to academic achievement. According to the Program for International Student Assessment, the United States continues to slide with respect to reading, math, and science achievement. Furthermore, there is an alarming achievement gap for students in the United States, especially with respect to Michigan. This table shows the achievement gap for states. 3 represents a laggard, 1 represents a leader. The achievement gap is concerning for citizens, students, educators, and politicians. Many interventions have been tried to address the achievement gap. Results are not coming easily. One proposed technical change is the use of a balanced calendar. The traditional calendar has a long summer vacation and long work periods in the fall and spring. Gaps are sporadic and short throughout the school year. The modified or balanced calendar is shown here. This is the 45-15 model, which is the most common manifestation of the balanced calendar. Summer break is still a reality. However, the number of days are reduced, and you can see there are more consistent learning periods and recess periods. The theory behind the balanced calendar is that the smaller, more consistent gaps address what is known as summer learning loss by providing a more equitable distribution of learning opportunities. Students retain more, and teachers and students are invigorated by more consistent and extended breaks during the school year. This technical change increases achievement in theory through the more consistent provision of learning opportunities. This is a relatively cost-effective change. House Bill 4982 sought around $2 million a year to implement balanced calendars in schools in Michigan. Districts would not be granted more than $750,000. Most of this money was to retrofit buildings with air conditioning or other HVAC technologies required to have students in session during warm summer months. Other costs include increased bus costs and the costs of intersessions, which are optional sessions where students, educators, and families can address concerns in education or extend educational opportunities. This bill was funded for 3 budgetary cycles and has not been funded on the last budgetary cycle and is not included in the current proposed Michigan budget. The current proposed Michigan budget looks for between $125 to $150 million for education. This will come in the increase per student of between $60 and $120 or $70 and $140 per student. The balanced calendar policy implementation cost is nowhere near in the neighborhood of $125 to $150 million. Perhaps this money could be better spent on educational interventions, changes to the social structure, or other learning incentives to address overall student achievement and/or the achievement gap. Please consider balanced calendar policy in your practice and impact as an educational leader and individual.